So again, I will be doing a voiceover on this garden video here and there because the natural way I hold my phone covers the microphone here and there, and it sounds so bad. So here we are. We had a week of rain before this video, and there's a load of weeds. It's mostly all velvet leaves. There's also other things in there. And more rain is coming, so I'm about to do a whole bunch of hoeing. Well, I found my beet row. Because remember, I planted my beet seeds right before our huge rain. It's not quite straight. They kind of got moved around, and there's some clusters of beets, but it's raining now. The rain stopped, so I came back out to do some hoeing. You can see all the dead weeds, loaded with weeds. And here's where I'm working. And I looked over here, and look at that cucumber. I've already got some overripe cucumbers. Something? See that yellow cucumber in there? So check out my potatoes. You remember when we planted those spindly little things? Doing pretty good. I need to hill them up. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Look at my beautiful little wildflower area. We got several coming. What do we got here that's going to bloom? Got some pretty poppies. Bachelor buttons. All right, done hoeing. See, so I need to be planting melons. That's what needs to be next. So I have got 4 little hills, and you just kind of smush down and make a volcano center. And we'll put our seeds in there. Like so. Something like so. And the water will sit in that little area. That was fantastic. You see, I unburied a couple of them. We gotta fix that. So here's an interesting one I got from the library. There's a dozen seeds in here. This is called strawberry corn, but it's popcorn, so it's just gonna taste like popcorn, but they're pink. But since I only have 12 seeds, they say 12 inches apart, I guess I'm gonna do 3 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 3. I'll have to figure that out. Well, I wish there were 12, but there's actually 11. So there's 4 on each side and then 3 in the middle. So I'm really just growing these to get the seed to grow next year, I hope. So I really hope they sprout. It's such a small amount of corn and they need each other for pollination. So here is my second garden. I have 2 gardens. Currently, even though it was tilled like a few weeks back, maybe even a month back, this garden doesn't have as nice of soil. It has a lot of rocks in it, and it's got a lot of clay in it. So I have to do a lot of hoeing here because it got hard again. I express in this video how sick I am of hoeing, and I decide it's time to plant. And of course, we are going to plant the fruit of my homeland, sweet corn. Corn, corn, been eyeballing 10 inches or something like that. In the past 2 years, I was very careful about measuring. And I never really got like an amazing harvest. My first year was better than last year. This year, I'm going to plant with my heart and the experience that I have so far. See how it goes. Stopping for today, but I got 4 rows in. They look nice. I still have that half to do with. You know, I almost feel like I don't have enough space for all the things I want to grow. Might need to build a new garden one of these days. Look at these beautiful flowers. Those are bachelor buttons. I need to look up what this one is, this red one. And this little pink one. And I forgot what these purple ones were called. And look at these pretty white ones. And we got one itty bitty sunflower over there. That was a wildflower mix. There's my corn rows going north to south, and some 5 rows of beans going east to west here. One plant in there is a marigold volunteer. And there's another marigold volunteer right there. My marvel of Perus have started to bloom. Those are from seeds that I saved when we moved here. Those were the flowers that those weird hummingbird moths were feeding on. Here comes Smokey walking towards us. I mentioned that my cabbages were getting eaten, and so I went through them all and picked out some green cabbage worms. And I trimmed all my tomatoes. If the leaves were touching the ground, basically, I cut them off. And then I'm really excited about my beets, because last year my beet harvest was terrible. So this is exciting. My beans. We're going to have a harvest next week. It's starting. And with beans, you want to just keep picking them and picking them. Oh my goodness. I could actually pick some beans today, I bet. Look at that. That's ready to be picked. So maybe I better look through here. And how's our cucumbers doing? They're climbing. Look at that. They're as tall as me almost. Not quite. And we got a cucumber. I need to pick that. Don't want them to get too big. And our Kentucky Wonders. They take longer to get beans because I have to climb first. And over here are the Blue Beauties. You remember we planted this row of tomatoes on this piece of cattle panel. And the Blue Beauties were the first ones to start making fruit. And even the stems are a little bit blue. It's very interesting. Picking beans today. Ugh. Here we go. Now, at first glance, you don't see any. But you gotta look a little. And you gotta pick beans to make the bean keep making beans. So here we go. Not bad. Way more than I was anticipating. And because it's so much, I'm gonna go ahead and can them. That's enough to can, wouldn't you say? Alright, we're pressure canning for 25 minutes at 11 psi. Got 6 quarts. Hopefully we have a success. Boy, it's like a lot of my water got sucked out. This one's not as bad. So, let's have a little look around here. Brought my basket because we're going to do some harvesting of beets today. These are my eggplants. Peppers. What is this? These jalapenos? Looks like a jalapeno pepper plant. These little black bugs always get on my eggplants and put all these little holes in it. See? Where am I? Here I am. Those. Hey, Smokey. Hey, Smokey. You like to come help, don't you? Mm-hmm. There's Kazumi. So I've picked 10 gallons of beans from these. I'm going to let all the beans turn to seed now on this row because I need some dry beans. Hi, Smokey. We've got some tomatoes coming here. Looking nice. Here's our blue beauties. They stand out because they're different, don't they? Looks like I can actually pick one. I'm really curious what their flavor's like. What a mess tomatoes eventually turn into, don't they? It was so nice and organized. Here's my Kentucky Wonder Beans. Still haven't gotten a bean from them, but they're growing. And check out my cucumbers. We've been eating cucumbers, that's for sure. They're doing great. Here's some dill. Here's a tomato. I got an extra tomato. My potatoes. They get a lot of those potato larvae or beetles or whatever. My cabbages. I actually get cabbage heads this year. This one's getting eaten up, but I'm definitely going to get at least a couple cabbage heads. That's exciting. So I don't really have any peppers to pick. Look at this pepper plant, but there's no peppers. It's just a plant. So we're still waiting on peppers. Oh my goodness. And this is what we're coming to pick, is beets. Oh, this went way too long. Look at this big beet. They're not all going to be quite that big. Holy moly. So I'm going to start picking beets. I'm picking all of my beets. They've probably been in the ground a week too long. But I'm sure proud of my beets, because last year I got like half a beet. And this year I do have a whole row, even though they're hidden by the tomatoes, which I always underestimate how huge they get. I gave them more space this year than ever. And they're monsters. Tomatoes are monsters. Here's the last one. Figured I'd say the last one for you. So I usually take these off after I pick it, but you see someone was out here munching on my beet greens because I'm doing this one-handed. I'm going to do this before I pull it out of the ground. But I'm going to save the nice beet greens and freeze them so I can put them in soups and what have you. These are small little beet greens. This is too big, but it's edible still, which is bigger than you would typically wait. You're not supposed to let it get to softball size. I have a lot of nice sized ones over here, but there are a few big ones. Can't wait to see how heavy this is. There's a lot of beets. Oh man, I need to work on my strength. Not quite 20 pounds. There's a spider. First time canning beets. Aren't they beautiful? Aren't beets beautiful? What a color. Wow. Hey, little chick. Look at you growing up. What a pretty face. What a pretty little face. Look at your pretty feathers coming in. Yeah, look at you. But you're used to that crap. Oh, goodness. Do I need to go outside and check on my chickens? Pretty little chicks. Yeah, pretty little chicks. Hi, are you curious? Are you curious? Yeah. Are you a curious little chick? Might get you into trouble one day. You don't want to be too curious. So every year we have these yellow garden spiders, I think is all their name is. At least the common name. Something I've never seen but have seen on the internet is the parasitic egg laying on these, oh, what are they called? I don't know. They're always on tomatoes. The hornworms. Look at that. I believe it's a parasitic wasp eggs or something. I think. I'm just out here picking some tomatoes. So I tried to be organized. The tomatoes. The tomatoes. They always take over. I thought I put plenty of space out there. Nope, I didn't. My poppies are starting to bloom. Pretty. My watermelon. Got a long ways to go still. My cantaloupe. Here's an example of my favorite type of mornings. It's never quieter than on a foggy morning or a snowy morning. You can kind of hear cows in the distance, and that's the only thing you hear from the distance. Otherwise, it's just chickens. Here's a Cooper. Hi, Cooper. It's soaking wet out, though.